Seth Killian is a former Street Fighter tournament player and all-around fighting game expert who now works for Capcom. Now and again you might find him commentating on EVO. He wrote this article about 10 years ago, and you can find it archived over at SRK. Most people, when sizing up the opposition or evaluating how good someone is, see only the most superficial aspects of a player. You look for the obvious, some cinchy, repeatable tactic you can steal, big combos, etc. This helps explain why some punks are idiotically able to come away with watching even the best players, saying things like, "He just got lucky, I've seen better," or, "My favorite, he didn't do anything I couldn't do." Saying things like this only proves how weak they really are. It's weak not just for having lost, but also for failing to even take anything away from the beating they just took. In the hurry to repeat their sad local egos, pride gets in the way of their being able to step back and figure out what really just happened to them. Instead of understanding it, they're rushing to make it seem like nothing really happened at all, preventing them from ever rising above the level they came in and went out at. In beginning to list a few of the hallmarks of great players, one feature in particular kept popping up. Hopefully this will help to underscore just how important it is, without ignoring the many other things that go into a champion. There are two ways to walk away from a match as the loser. You can just lose, or you can be beaten. You can give it away or have it taken away from you. Everyone understands this distinction on some level already, but let's make it explicit. Say you weren't keeping track of the timer, or you blew your big chance at a combo counter. You guessed the wrong way to block, and so on. This is you losing. This is giving it away. Losing like this is something you effectively do all by yourself. The opponent can just hang around taking advantage of all the mistakes you're handing him. The other way to lose is to be beaten. This is the only way a serious player will allow themselves to lose. To lose like this means to be in the game, do your best, and have the win pried from your cold, dead hands. You can get beaten by superior tactics, being outguessed, or to something you've never seen before, etc. Not because of something you screwed up. Never just losing is one of the first steps towards being a serious player. The key to never giving anything away is simple: execution. The role of execution really cannot be understated. When some people see a difficult combo, they tell themselves, "Hey, that's not so amazing," and go home and do that combo without too much trouble. Lots of scrubs get pleased with themselves like this. They shouldn't. In the tournament, the fact that you have done or are capable of doing some combo means nothing. To say that you can do something under tournament conditions mean you can pull it off every time without even having to think. That is top play. This point shouldn't be mistaken to be simply about tricky combos. Pulling off low forward into fireball is clearly no big deal, but doing it 100 times over the course of a 3-round fight, never missing it once, that's something. Execution is about never giving anything away. I know, but aren't these games supposed to be about fun? Remember when you first heard that sentiment? When you were on a Little League team that sucked? It was the coach's pregame pep talk to soften the impact of the beating you all knew you were about to take. Well, I agree that Ozaki may have bordered on unhealthy, and of course there's nothing wrong with having fun. My concern is to point out the way in which so many scrubs use the idea of having fun as an excuse to never really get any good, to hide their inability to really play. They can pretend to laugh off their losses because they were just having fun. So why bother? It's another of those cheap devices for soothing their own damaged egos. Not only will these guys not only never be real competitors, they like to take a pathetic moral high ground on this one, claiming, well, if that's what it takes, then I don't want to win. I'll never give up having fun. But they actually miss out on the best kind of reward these games have to offer. There's something deeply satisfying about seeing these games played truly well. It has a kind of beauty all on its own. A well-played match has a flow like nothing else that you'll never be able to see just screwing around, no matter how big the combos or how wacky the tactics. Fun is used not only as an excuse for lazy slot play, it's also, of course, used against certain tactics. Usually, those same tactics that make you work to get around them. This is a new kind of sadness, all on its own, as in the vast majority of cases, counter tactics exist. Finding these in the back and forth complex tactics is one of the greatest pleasures these games offer. But no, we should give that up for the fun of being able to slap our buttons the same way we used to. Scrubs. Finally, the idea that you can't win and have fun at the same time needs to be exposed as the mysterious scrub propaganda that it is. Ozaki at least was having fun. There are a lot of aspects to fun, not least of which is special joy of winning a serious competition. The only time you see these hardcore competitors really smile is following what? A dominating performance. One where they know they've just done exactly what they needed to do for themselves, team, country. Fortunately, Street Fighter tournaments and Street Fighter generally have a lot more opportunities for fun than this. Most every top player I know has a ton of fun playing these games, and unquestionably more than the losing, button-slapping scrubs who console themselves by thinking the winner must have given up his humanity or some other nonsense to get that good. The idea that fun can't go together with winning isn't just confused, it's exactly wrong. These guys are playing the game better, more satisfyingly, seeing more in it, and getting to beat everyone down at the same time. Fun.